Welcome everyone. We're here with Sabari today at TechCon. Sabari, thank you for joining us. For everyone who doesn't know yet, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Uh, Currently, I am managing partner JFF Ventures. JFF stands for Jobs for Future. We are a early stage education and workforce investor with
Okay.
a lens on how can technology help with economic mobility for populations making less than $50,000 a year. So we kind of invest with an impact lens. We're a venture fund, but we are very sort of thesis driven. So my personal background, I'm a founder turned investor. So a majority of my career, I've been an operator, founded a tech company, ran the company, got acquired in 2023, and post which I became a full-time investor.
And is the fund focused on US or is this like global impact for?
No, we do have a primary. This is, I mean, let me backtrack. This is technically Fund One, and Fund One, we are actively deploying out of Fund One, and 80% is a US workforce focus. But we do have a 20% carve out for good investments coming out of other countries as well. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And from your vantage point, what is changing fast in your industry that most people are underestimating?
I wouldn't say most people are underestimating because I think people are afraid is how the future of work is changing with AI. A lot of the good jobs as we know it is very quickly disappearing. For example, entry level programming jobs are dwindling quite a bit. So our work is like important and even more challenging now because the pace of change that AI is infusing in the workforce is fast, outpacing how fast people are training and learning and getting the skills. And so, how do we find that perfect balance, right? That's what we're focused on.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And alternatively, where are you seeing the most hype today that isn't delivering any real value?
I think the most hype I feel is any company, anything you look at is AI this and AI that. Like to differentiate between like true opportunities where AI is really creating a bridge versus it's just a wrapper on traditional stuff. It's very hard for investors, especially, to differentiate between that, right? I'm seeing like hundreds of companies that are like, we're doing AI based resume reviews, AI based interviews, right? AI based content creation. But how do you really know what's delivering? I think time will tell. So
Okay, okay. What is the one decision that made the biggest difference in your organization's progress over the last year?
I think there are many decisions. If I have to pick one decision that's made a big difference, I come from a founder background, and we intentionally said we just don't want to be an investor who's just writing checks. We want to be a strategic value add investor. And that is why our partnership with JFF, which is a large national nonprofit, is so important. One of the biggest decisions we made last year was we said it's easily said than done to help founders navigate a large ecosystem like JFF. We need sort of a dedicated resource to work with founders post investment in order to help them navigate policy, funding, higher ed networks, employer networks, which JFF has tons of. It's a 40-year-old organization. So I think that is a single most important decision we've made, which we are starting to see results, is we have a dedicated director of platform and partnerships whose job is to work with founders post investment to help add strategic value. So
Cool. And my last question is, what's the one fun fact about you that you haven't put on LinkedIn?
it's not on LinkedIn, but I'm sure I say this at every interview, is I grew up on a coconut farm in South India. My parents still live there. I love that place, but when I was young, I couldn't wait to get out of there. Now I can't wait
You
to
can't
get
wait to get
back,
back to the coconut
Yeah.
farm. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you. This
Shabri.
was
Thank
lovely.
you.
I appreciate it.
Likewise.
Yeah.